Okay, welcome to your morning practice, starting in seated. And so you can come into a modified lotus, one heel in front of the other, knees drawing down toward the earth. Hips lifted, so using a bolster, stack of blankets, a block, something to lift the hips, and then if you need something to support underneath the knee. And this will automatically bring your spine into a better place to sit up nice and straight. And before we settle in, practice drawing your elbows down toward your leg. So you can feel that gentle tug on the shoulders. Maybe you experience it through the neck. And so just these little pulses. And then finally, drawing the shoulders down and finding a place to rest. The belly draws in toward the spine, the crown of the head lifts. And this morning we're going to explore creating our own mudra. So taking the thumb and the index finger on each hand, fingertips together. Take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the nose. And just observe how you feel. And then move the thumb to the middle finger. And again, take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Scanning the body, scanning the mind, scanning the heart for any feelings, memories, thoughts that are really standing out. Moving thumb to ring finger. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. And finally moving to the pinky finger. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. And you may continue that sequence. Or perhaps you already know which combination you need. So if there was some intensity or discomfort with one of those connections, see if you can stay in that space and find peace. So for instance, if your pinky finger touching your thumb created feelings of frustration, see if you can sit with that, breathing into that space. Or maybe there were a few fingers that felt like they needed attention and you can join them together with the thumb. So maybe it's the index and pinky with the thumb, resting the back of your hand on your thighs or your knee. And just sitting with the memories, feelings, thoughts that are rising up at this time. Lengthening the breath, relaxing the legs, sitting up nice and tall. If your mind begins to wander, come back to your breath, filling up the belly, ribs, and chest with your breath. Exhaling, chest, ribs, belly. A few more moments here, focusing on the breath. And release the fingertips, send the arms behind your back, interlacing the fingers, drawing the shoulders down from the ear. And we'll begin to bring the left ear to the left shoulder. Breathing space into the right side, into the right neck. You can also move both hands over toward the left hip, bending the right elbow. And this may intensify the stretch for you here. So in the morning, I like to keep some movement in the stretching to help break up the connective tissues. So maybe you tip your chin up and down, but if it feels better to just stay still, then feel free to do that. And as you, perhaps if you're moving the chin up and down, you find that there's a specific spot that's catching or that really needs a stretch, and pausing there, breathing into that space, relax and move. And draw your arms behind your back, head back to center. Open the chest and heart, maybe lifting the arms up slightly just to get that deeper opening between the shoulder. And then begin to relax the right ear to the right shoulder. And again, you can keep your arms as they are or bring the hands to the right hip, landing at the left elbow, relaxing the right shoulder. And maybe you find that movement, tipping the chin up and down, exploring all the different edges of the neck. And maybe you find that point where it needs a little bit more attention. Pausing there, breathing into that space. Slowly begin to release the head back to center, arms behind you. Release the hands, switch the cross of the feet. So whatever leg was in front before is now behind. Setting up, accommodating the hips and the knees on this side. Hands to the knees. We'll inhale the chest and heart forward. Make space between the shoulders. Lift the chin slightly, keep the neck long. So this is a seated cat-cow. Tip back onto your sits bones. Draw the belly button in toward the spine. Make space between the shoulder blades. And I like to think of this as hands on the edge of a cliff. Inhale, chest and heart forward. And with all of the morning postures, taking little movements here and there when needed. So if you find that there's a tight space in the neck or the shoulders, moving into those spaces. Keep moving with the breath. And I'll offer a variation as you come forward into cow. You can send your ribs over toward the right side, come back through cat, send the ribs left and forward. So drawing a circle. And if we try and hit beats with this, it can be really awkward. So just find like a flow and movement. Or if you want to keep doing the cat-cow just back and forth, that's okay too. So option to explore a circular motion here. Don't forget your breath, inhaling forward and exhaling back. Maybe you keep your eyes closed to observe the circular movement around an invisible central pillar in your body that comes up between the hip bones. And if you're taking the circle option, switch direction. So going left first and then to the right. Give yourself freedom here. Move into tight spaces. Two more rounds of breath. And then coming back to center, send the left fingertips out from the left hip. Right hand comes out of right hip, up and over. Reach, reach, reach through the fingertips, and let's pulse here. So again, finding just small movements, pulsing into a deeper stretch. Up out of that right hip. If you want to find stillness, find stillness. And inhale up through center. We'll come over to the other side. Right hand out of right hip, left hand out of left hip. Reach and pulse. Chest and heart toward the sky. Finding that rotation in the spine. In through the nose, out through the nose. If you want to find stillness in the stretch, find stillness. And inhale up through center, both arms reach up toward the sky. We're going to hold here for a moment, just letting the sensation run down from the fingertips. You can rotate wrists or maybe flick the fingers, wiggle the fingers. And once you feel like that is out of your system, if you could say, let the arms rest here, shoulders down the back, belly lifted. Just experiencing the space between your hands. Begin to twist over toward the left side. Right hand comes down to the left thigh, left fingertips behind you. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. And before you turn back to center, turn your palms toward one another like you're lifting a beach ball up overhead, holding here. And then twisting and bringing the left hand to the outside of the right thigh, right fingertips behind. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. And again, hands facing one another. Inhale all the way up. And exhale your arms to your sides. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale your hands down through heart center. Two more like that. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Turn the palms forward and press forward onto all fours, removing everything from your mat. Take some time to do that, to adjust. When you're there, if you want to take some cat-cows, feel free to do that. Or to extend one leg out, giving it a stretch, and then the other. Reaching back through the heel, maybe with some pulses. Again, just feeling into the morning legs. What's going on in the legs? Spread your fingers wide, wrists underneath the shoulder. So if you were stretching out one leg, switching sides. Let's ground the fingertips in the space between the index finger and thumb. Both knees underneath the hips. Tuck the toes under. Shift your hips back and up, downward facing dog. Pressing the mat away from you. Ground the right heel, left knee bent. Ground the left heel, right knee bent. Bend both knees and bring your belly toward your thighs, lengthening the upper body. And then lower both heels toward the earth. Begin to take a nice slow walk, rolling through the feet. Toe to heel, really feeling from the toe to heel what's going on in the feet, what's going on in the legs. Making your way to the top of your mat into a nice forward fold. Holding onto both elbows. Let the crown of the head relax down toward the earth. And maybe you start to sway from side to side. Switch the cross of the arms, so opposite arm on top. And then release the arms, let them hang, but still sway from side to side. So you're drawing a circle around the legs. This part's really fun. We're going to sway like this from side to side, coming all the way up, but we're going to do it slowly. So as you come over to the right side, lift the left arm a little bit up and look under that arm. So there's a little bit of a twist that happens here. And then you swoop back down to the ground. So let this flow. Feel the freedom in your movements, find your breath, and start to rise up more and more each time. So maybe you're halfway up now. Feet are fixed. All of the movement is happening in the middle body, through the arms, coming up higher and higher. More and more. Swooping up and down. And then swooping a little bit higher. So not going all the way to the ground. You start to stand up straighter and add a little bit of a back bend as you come up. Arms from side to side. And then we're all the way up, just moving from side to side. Start to bring the arms down. And we'll transition into, I actually don't know what this is called. But you're moving your arms from side to side, punching your kidneys, punching your back body. And it's an inhale at center and a sharp exhale to each side. So inhale, exhale. So generating a lot of energy here. Let your arms be free. Maybe they come up shoulder height. And you can keep your gaze fixed forward or allow your gaze to move between 2 points in the room. But you want to make sure that if you are moving between those points, you're not getting dizzy. Okay, so and your hands feel weightless. Keep going. Nice sharp drinks of air through the nose. We're going to start to slow down in 3, 2, and 1. So start to slow it down. We're still making these movements, but slower and slower each time. Still inhale through center, exhale to the side. And maybe you even close your eyes as you start to bring energy in towards center. So again, finding that pillar, this time feeling it between the feet, between the arches of the feet up through the root, moving up to the crown of the head, finding stillness, standing mountain pose. Kneecaps lifted, inner thigh rotates outward, turn your palms forward. Feel that power. And we call back any fragments of energy that we have given away or lost along the way. We call that back into this center pillar of energy that glows bright within us. And all we have to do is breathe, because this pillar is like a magnet, drawing everything that is ours back to us. Everything that is meant for us. Anything we've lost along the way. Feeling strong in this energy. Inhale your arms up, interlace your fingers above your head, and then press down toward the root with an exhale. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, press down toward root. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, press down. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale the arms up. We take it all the way down to the earth this time. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, send your arms forward. Reach out through the crown of the head so your back is nice and flat. And then exhale, fold. Inhale the arms up, interlace the fingers, press down to the root. Inhale. Exhale. We have 3 more. Inhale the arms up. Exhale all the way down to the earth. Our inhale, halfway lift, reach the arms out. Reach out through the fingertips, nice flat back. Draw the shoulders down the back. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up, 6 of those breaths. Interlace the fingers, exhale. Two more. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale our halfway lift, reach out through the fingertips. Exhale, fold, this time planting the palms, stepping back into a downward facing dog. Pedal out the legs here in downward facing dog. Right leg lifts up high, bend at the knee, bring the foot over toward the left side. Flex the foot, look over the left shoulder. Square off your shoulders here, feel that stretch across the belly. Come up onto the left toes, right knee comes into the chest, hold here for 3, 2, 1. Step the foot through, drop the back knee. Inhale the arms forward, up and back. Interlace your fingers behind your back, chest and heart open. Look up to where the wall and the ceiling meet. Front knee stays over front ankle. And fingertips to the earth, step it back to downward facing dog. Ground the right heel, left leg lifts up high, bend at the knee, foot over toward the right side, flex the foot, look over your right shoulder. Feel that stretch in the belly. Come up onto the right toes, left knee into the chest, nose to knee. Hollow out the belly like in cat. 3, 2, 1. Step the foot through, drop the back knee. Inhale the arms forward, up and back. Exhale the arms behind the back. Open the chest and heart. Sink into your lunge, but front knee stays over front ankle. Fingertips to the earth, step it back to downward facing dog. All right, so we're going to start to move through this a little bit faster. Lift the right leg, square off the hips, so big toe, right big toe is pointing down. Come up onto the left toes, right knee into the chest, step the foot through, drop the back knee, inhale the arms forward, up and back. Sink in, hit your mark. Plant your palms, back to three-legged dog. So keep the hips square, right big toe points down. Feeling that stretch in the left leg. Come up onto the left toes, right knee into the chest. Step the foot through, drop the back knee. Inhale the arms forward, up and back. Exhale, plant the palms. Again, three-legged dog. Send the left heel to the earth, square off the hips. One more time, come up onto the left toes, right knee into the chest. Step the foot through, drop the back knee. Inhale, forward, up and back. Plant the palms, back to downward facing dog. Take a moment here, take a breath. And then we ground the right heel, left leg lifts. Square the hips, left big toe pointing down. Come up onto the right toes, left knee into the chest. Step the foot through. Inhale the arms forward, up and back. Sink into your stretch. Lift up out of the hips. Plant the palms, back to three-legged dog. Round the right heel. Come up onto the right toes, left knee into the chest. Step the foot through. Inhale the arms forward, up and back. Exhale, plant the palms, three-legged dog. Last one. Keep those hips square. Keep drawing the right heel toward the floor. Left knee into the chest. Step the foot through. Drop the back knee. Inhale. Plant the palms. Step the back foot up to meet the front foot. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Arms reach out in front of you. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. Interlace the fingers, press down to the root. Again. Again. 3 more. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, reach the arms out in front of you. Exhale, fold. Plant the palms, back to downward facing dog. Right leg comes up high. Bend at the knee, foot comes over toward the left side. Flex the foot. Come up onto the left toes. Right knee comes to the outside of the right wrist. Foot toward the left wrist. We're setting up for pigeon. And we're going to stay upright in pigeon. Look to the back leg. Make sure it's straight out from the hip. Keep the back toes tucked under. And you can stay here or bend the back knee and reach back for the foot. Sinking in, using support if you need it underneath the hips. Sometimes you can get deeper into the stretch if you accept the support and help. Square the shoulders. And we're always lengthening in the spine, so lifting up out of the hips, letting the lower body sink in. 2 more rounds of breath. And release the back foot. Keep the back toes tucked under, press into the palms, step back into downward facing dog. Ground the right heel. Left leg lifts up high, bend at the knee, foot over toward the right side. So you're opening your belly button toward the sky. Come up onto the right toes. Left knee comes to the outside of the left wrist, foot toward the right wrist. And if your shin is not parallel with the front of the mat, point the toes back. So you don't have to flex the foot. Square off the hips. Keep the back toes tucked and use that as a way to adjust the back leg. You could also bring a block or something underneath the left fingertips to help support this posture. Bend the back knee, reach back with the right hand. And maybe your hand and foot do not meet. That's okay. You can just bend the back knee, or maybe the legs stay straight. And just focus on sinking into the posture. Sitting up nice and tall. Find your breath. Two more rounds of breath here. Drawing that right foot in toward the bum. And then begin to release that foot. Plant the palms, step it back to downward facing dog. From our down dog, we walk the hands back to the feet into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, arms reach forward. Lift that belly toward the spine. Remove the curve in your spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. We take 6 of those breaths. Interlace the fingers. Press down to the root. Three more. Take a moment to pause and feel. Maybe you close your eyes. Feeling that pillar of energy that runs between the feet all the way up to the crown of the head, connecting earth to sky. Ground all 4 corners of the right foot and come onto the left big toe. So for this, for tree posture, we'll turn out at the hip, bring your foot to your ankle, and we're going to start here. So we're going to take some time, even if you can bring your foot to your thigh, we're going to take some time with our foot at our ankle. And square off the hips, lift the belly, lift the chest, palms face forward, and then hands draw to heart center. So for some hyper-flexible people, this is actually a more difficult posture than to bring your foot to your thigh. So all we're going to do today is explore the different positions and see what we notice, just like we did with our fingertips. Just exploring those, scanning the body for memories, for emotions. And maybe you bring your foot now up to your calf and begin to reach your arms up into a goddess pose, elbows in line with the shoulders, palms facing forward. Feeling an opening in the chest, finding a point of focus, an unmoving point, otherwise known as a drishti. This is a mental exercise as much as it's physical. And then maybe you bring your foot to your thigh, so releasing the arms to help yourself with that if need be. Anywhere but the knee, so if your foot is touching knee, move it one way or the other. And then arms reach fully up overhead. We find that beach ball like energy that we cultivated at the beginning of our practice. That space between the palms, shoulders relax down the back. And just observing the difference between this and the foot to the calf, or the foot to the ankle. Hands attract back to heart center. And then just as we did with our mudra, we're going to select where we rest our foot. So coming into a final resting tree. Finding that center pillar of energy that runs up between the feet. It's where our foot makes contact, our left foot makes contact with the right leg. And begin to release the left foot, shake out the right foot. And we'll do that same sequence on the other side. So turn out at the right hip, foot comes to the ankle. Hands to heart center. Everything drawing in toward that center line. And focus is, I meant balance, but I said focus. One and the same. Focus is finding that balance. So it may be a minute to minute thing, and we're just navigating each minute as we're in it. I did not mean to rhyme there. This is about the point of the practice where I get silly. Silly with all that oxygen we've been breathing. And maybe you start to move your foot up to your calf, bringing your arms into goddess position, elbows in line with the shoulder, palms facing forward. Crossing the hips forward, lifting the belly. Keep a little micro bend in the standing knee. We're not trying to lock the knee and use the joints to hold us up. And just noticing what comes up here, the different in the body, mind, and spirit. And finally, we'll bring the foot to the thigh if that's available. If not, not to worry, just find another position. Anywhere but the knee, we don't want foot pressing into the knee. And reach the arms up overhead, finding that beach ball. Finding that point of focus. So for example, if I'm at this angle, I can see my own shadow, which makes me fall out of balancing posture. So, or if you're looking at a mirror, the light moves in a mirror, so it might throw off your balance. You really want to find something that's fixed, something that's not going to distract your focus. Finding that center pillar of energy, calling back any fragments that may still be needed. Begin to draw the hands back, finding your resting position. So maybe you bring your foot back to the ankle, maybe you stay where you are, maybe foot to calf. And let's release the right foot, shake out the left foot, shake out the hands. And then find a standing mountain pose, eyes closed, breathing energy up through the soles of the feet. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your palms, step back to a table or a plank if you want to take a plank. And then lower down onto the knees if you're in plank, and lower all the way down onto the belly. So we're going to take a chest stretch here, but let's play around with where we position the arm. So start first bringing your right arm straight out from the shoulder. Lift the left leg and bring it over toward the left side. I don't know if I said that right. We're going to lift the left leg, bring it over to the right side. There we go. And then just feel into the shoulder, feel into the chest. If that's the perfect spot for you, rest here. If not, coming back and then adjusting the angle of your arm. So your right arm is staying behind you. Lift the left leg, bend at the knee. Top arm can reach up, drawing some circles. And that left foot, that left knee, really helps to deepen this posture or to alleviate as well. So if there's any pinching in the lower back, adjusting the foot, but the more you lean back, the more you open the chest. So you'll feel into that here. Resting your right side head onto the earth. You can rest the top arm in a specific position if you found something that feels right. And 2 more rounds of breath. I could stay here for 10 minutes, so I have to I have to cut myself off. Coming back through center, we'll do that on the other side. So finding different positions. Another way of knowing is if you practice with the wall in opening the shoulder, it's the same principle here, just opening the chest and the shoulder. So right leg lifts, bend at the knee, foot comes all the way over. I think I said that wrong again. It comes all the way over to the left side. Right and left lately not been working out for me. All right, top arm rotates. We're finding some movement here maybe, or finding a place to stay and stretch. So it's better to go lightly into the tight space than to go fully into the open space. Just noticing what that is for you. I don't remember what I just said, but I feel like it was quotable. It'd be nice to move into that top shoulder in the morning. Again, breaking up any kind of adhesions from the evening, from sleep. And we can bring it back to center. And then find yourself nice and long on the earth, feet hip distance apart. And walk your hands out from your shoulder. Elbows over wrists. Inhale, lift the chest. Lift the heart, draw it forward. Press into the tops of the feet gently. Draw the shoulder blades apart. And then begin to lift the fingertips up off the earth. Taking goddess arms, so elbows in line with the shoulder. Send the arms out wide. Interlace your fingers behind your back. All keeping the chest lifted, the neck long. And begin to release hands underneath the forehead. Big toes together, heels wide, relax the lower back. And from here, we're just making our way onto our back. So maybe sending the left arm alongside the ear, shifting your hips over toward the right side of your mat. And then elegantly, or like a walrus, flop yourself over onto your back. And we're bending the knees, sending them from side to side, massaging the lower back. So you can take your twist from here, just allowing the knees to drop over to the left side, or you can shift your hips over to the right side of your mat, draw your knees into your chest, and then send them over to the left. So sometimes in the first position, people find instability in their knees. So just whatever is going to work for you here, breathing into your twist. the reset portion of our practice, this is where we get to acknowledge that whatever energies we brought forward with us from sleep or from days before that aren't really, that were just excess baggage, we release that. And so anything that would be quote unquote negative that stays, we know that it's here to teach us something. We know that it's left over because it needs to be. Anything that was not for us is now left. So we start our day with what is for us. You can start to bring yourself back to center. If you're moving the knees from side to side, just do that and then let the knees fall over to the right side. Or if you're taking a a proper twist, I don't know, shift your hips left, draw the knees into the chest and let them fall over to the right side. Scooping up the right shoulder blade, place it back down, look over the left fingertips. Breathing into this twist, relax the inner thigh, relax the toes. Finding ease and peace in this posture. And just before we come into Shavasana, I invite you to find an intention. What was your intention for practice? What feeling or energy were you looking to cultivate in your life at this time? So that as you unwind and as you send your legs out long and your arms out long at your side, you feel all the spaces you've created with this beautiful intention, this beautiful energy. So if it's love, you feel that love fill all those spaces, the beautiful radiant energy from toe to the crown of the head. And if you're struggling to feel into that intention, maybe remembering a time, conjuring a memory where you felt that emotion or that energy fully. Or maybe remembering a time you felt most love or you felt so much love. And began to settle in, heels and the backs of the hands and the shoulders and the head. Nice and heavy on the earth. The earth rises up and holds you in this space. If your mind wanders, come back to your breath. And today you are guided by Solar, who represents knowledge, consciousness, synthesis, and spiritual empowerment. Solus is radiant, energizing, vitalizing. This presence here today indicates that something new is being brought into being in our life, partly through our own efforts and partly through the help we are receiving from other realms. Miracles may take place. Movement into the light is occurring. This is a time for taking action, passing on our blessings and learning, and for service given from a position of strength. We now start to bring awareness back into the body with movements in the hands and feet, the wrists and ankles. If you want to stay in Shavasana, I would just ask that you replicate this transition process when you come out, whenever that may be. As we are honoring our transition from our practice, which was life, into death posture, and then back through our rebirth, coming back to life. Maybe you stand your feet on the earth, moving the knees from side to side, waking up the spine, finding more life in the body, deepening the breath. And then pausing with the knees together, right hand to the heart space, left hand to your belly, for your moment of gratitude. I invite you to find something that you're grateful for today. Allow this gratitude to fill your heart space, traveling out with the pulse and with the breath. Gratitude is the greatest armor we have in this life, allowing us to be vulnerable and strong at once, to love without fear, to express kindness without feeling weak. Gratitude is both nourishing and protective. And feel it radiate out from you. When you're ready, sending your right arm alongside the ear, turning over onto your right side into the fetal position. And this is your time to acknowledge the love you've given yourself today, to receive that love from yourself. You have shown up, that you have made it from the beginning to the end. And each time we do this, and acknowledge it. Acknowledge that we already love ourselves every time that we get out of bed in the morning. The more we can see that, the more we can receive that love from ourselves. And then pressing into the palm, bring yourself up to seated, finding a comfortable seat. And we'll close the class with connection. So in all of my circles, I start the class with connection, but in our morning practice, I like to end it that way so that we can feel and take that connection with us throughout our day. So rubbing the palms together, generating some heat. So you can either move them back and forth or draw circles. We're creating that heat in the palms. And when we place our hands on ourselves, we can hover them over the skin or place them on the actual body. It's up to you. So if you don't feel comfortable touching your face, you don't have to. So we're going to today place them over the cheeks. And so over the eyes. Maybe you even feel that warmth of the heel of your hand around the jaw. When you're ready, bring your arms out to your sides, palms facing forward, eyes closed or softened. Find your heart space and bring your awareness to your palms. And you now receive through your palms a feeling of connection from the root that connects us all in the song that sings the universe. Of kindness, compassion, empathy, community, support, all of the ways in which we are not alone. We feel and receive this energy in through the palms into the heart space. And from the heart, we are filled with this feeling of connection, knowing that we are never alone. That we can access this feeling at any time through memory, pulse, and breath. And from this place of fullness, we begin to connect into the flow of energy, receiving through the right and out through the left. Feel an energy come in through the right palm and give it out through the left. An endless flow from right to left. And this flow is like prayer, communication with the divine. A way of sending and receiving intentions. Emotion, thought, intention, whatever it is that we need, whatever it is we want to give, in through the right and out through the left, around the circle. And the more we connect with this flow, the more we recognize that we do not need to block the flow. We do not need to store or keep the things that we receive. We can give them freely. As the cycle is endless. And draw your hands to your heart, bow your head to your chest. Thank you so much for joining me in this practice today. Always.